Hello, this is Maury Markman from City Pope, and I wanted to briefly discuss a paper which is in the realm of what we've been talking about in terms of the impact of the problems with publications, peer review, and this was really sort of a quite personal story, not for me, personal for the individual who we're talking about, and the impact of this particular problem. And it's very timely because the news item I'm referring to is just published in the September 12th issue of Nature. And the description here is of a researcher who I do not know, is actually the basic science area, who describes a situation where he, in fact, was a reviewer of a manuscript that was submitted for publication in a journal. And he noted it was very familiar. The end of the story, that particular story it was his paper. It was very similar, and he actually looked at the figures; they were identical to his paper. So these items had been taken from his paper. He, of course, rejected the article, the manuscript. Quite concerning, but that's not the end of the story. The rest of this was several months later. He actually saw the paper, which he rejected, published in another journal, peer-reviewed journal. He contacted the publisher. The publisher did its own analyses, had the paper retracted, but they did additional research on their own. They contacted all the authors. 4 of the 5 authors apparently said they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know why their names were on the paper. They hadn't given permission. Hard to believe, but that's what they said. They went further and found out that, in fact, a number of the authors on this paper had links to what is called the International Publisher, a paper mill based in Moscow. This was their quote. They go on to describe efforts of a variety of organizations, and they noted particularly that according to one report, one analysis, there were more than 70,000 publications in the year 2022 alone that had characteristics that they came from paper mills. Again, this is just to emphasize the magnitude of the problem, and when we get down to this individual author, the impact on that particular author, his work. And you can only imagine how many times this is multiplied. Clearly, this situation is bad, getting worse. AI obviously is going to potentially make it worse. And the big concern, of course, is in addition to the impact on individual researchers, is the trust the public can have, will have, in the scientific publication peer review process. In the next segment, the last segment of this group, I want to mention a number of possible suggestions that might be considered to try to improve the situation. And I thank you for your attention.